Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, so here we go. This is on high demand right now. Sagittarius and Pisces compatibility for the first quarter of 2019. It's a lot going on. I'm going to begin where these two signs' positions are inside of the solar chart on a day-to-day basis while living in the moment. It's a square. They're both mutable signs, however, same quality, however different. They're in a square. So there's an obstacle with these two during their entirety, right? At the same time, it's up to you to determine what a square can bring to your life. With the more practice you get, you'll understand it. You'll see it. For the most part, those squares are known as obstacles, challenges in our lives. All right. So for Sagittarius, of course, in the solar chart, that's their first house, right? And for Pisces, it's inside of Pisces' 10th house, Sagittarius, which represents the career, represents status, relationship with authority figures, mother, father included, government even, organizations, structures, and stuff like that. Did I say that? In case I didn't, I meant that too. But that's for Pisces. And, for Sagittarius, first house, the embodiment of the self, the actual physical body, the filter, how they perceive information, discern it, assess it, and how other people see them as well, that what they project onto the world, right? So now, to be compatible with each other, remember, this is a compatibility reading, all right? So the reason why I'm bringing up that house or that sign, those houses for that sign, is this is how you could tell if they're going to be compatible. This is how you're going to tell if they could be compatible. First off, in this essence, because let me just give you a scenario, like to say, let's say these two are not. Let's say Sagittarius is not part of Pisces' career. Then that means Sagittarius could be doing their own thing, free living, going about, out and about and everything, and Pisces will be doing their career on their own. And just think about how that sounds for a minute. Despite how much these two do appreciate freedom, when we're talking about compatibility, how does it resonate with home life? How would that resonate with traveling abroad? How would that resonate with a Pisces man being in a career? And this could be anywhere. I'm not just saying because it's a Pisces, they're going to be in the entertainment industry or a photographer. Wherever this Pisces choose to go inside of the sign of Sagittarius, how will it resonate with that Sagittarius? You know what I mean? How would they be able to handle all of what's going on? I'm not saying it's not capable of being done. What I'm saying is, a lot of the times, people who work on the job get close with the people who they work on the job with. This is what I'm saying. All right, so I'm just putting it out there like that. Now, before I just close it off like that, there's also a square between Sagittarius having their fourth house in the sign of Pisces and Pisces having their sign in the first house, right? So Pisces represents the body, the way that they filter information. I'm pretty sure we all know the characteristics of Pisces the same way as we do for Sagittarius, right? But this goes along the lines of, how does Pisces, the self, the embodiment of self, pair up with Sagittarius in a home life when it comes to being domestic, right? So we know Sagittarius style for the most part. If they can travel, they will. If they can go on an adventure, they're definitely going, right? So considering Jupiter is beneficial to a Sagittarius, to your Sagittarius out there, let's say Pisces is not doing their career. Like, remember what I said, it's not up to par with their career or whatever the case may be. Maybe Pisces is a homebody. Maybe Pisces is, who knows? Let's just say Pisces is doing something that is charitable, right? Because that goes along the lines of Pisces as well. How will that coupling be able to pair up with a Sagittarius style for living domestically, right? So this is the thing that you got to understand right now. If it's going to really depend on what professions these people are in, what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, to understand if they can meet the challenge for each other to be compatible. I've spoke about this before in Pisces Sagittarius updates, right? So this is why I say if Pisces can do a career and do a career with a Sagittarius, it would be fantastic, and vice versa. Because then when it comes to home life, it's like, okay, we're at work and we're at home. You might have homes all over the place, or homes where you prefer to have homes at, right? And if you're doing something career-wise, and I'm not saying, there's going to be jealousy involved and stuff like that. I'm just saying, right? If you're doing something career-wise and you have to separate for whatever the purpose may be, at least you're going on a business trip. You know what I mean? I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather, if my significant other has to fool around, I'd rather it be while they bringing some money home at the same time. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? That's me, though. I'm not telling y'all to, follow that route. I just wanted to discuss that first before I get into these other planetary placements, because as I describe these planetary placements, you'll get a better idea of how this makes even more sense, especially right now. Okay? So, I'm going to continue with this first aspect. I think I'm going to do this aspect first, which is the Mercury Neptune sextile. Sextiles bring opportunity. We do know this, right? Now, I'm going to start here because this sextile is over like today, tomorrow. Today. You'll probably be watching this tomorrow, so it's going to be over by today. By tonight, probably, it's going to be done. All right, but here lies an opportunity to be a master of persuasion. All right, so if you've already been talking along the lines with your Pisces or whatever the case may be, you may have been wearing some lingerie or whatever you got to do to excite your Pisces or persuade them to do what you want them to do. Pretty much a manipulative tactic, right? And you may even like plant ideas in his mind, right? But he'll say it first, and then you'll be like, "Good job, babe." Things along that line with that type of opportunity. All right, so if you want to see something new or whatever the case may be, adventurous, right? Sagittarius, and vice versa. You guys can influence each other to do those types of things with that opportunity. But you better do it right now. You better strike while the rod is hot. Because, it's pretty much over by tonight. So, great luck for y'all tonight. Hope y'all have fun. Now, listen. Moving right along. I want to talk about the aspect between... Oh, mind you, that's in the signs of Capricorn and Pisces, right? Neptune is in Pisces, ruling planet inside its ruling sign, and Mercury is inside of Capricorn. So even more, I spoke about, when I mentioned the signs, I want you to think about the style of how these people will be speaking and communicating with each other when it comes between Mercury and Neptune. There's a lot going on in Capricorn right now. So you got to understand, right, that with Mercury being there, you may be talking corporate talk. You may be talking boss talk. You may be talking getting organized, get your life together and stuff like that. It might not be old peaches and cream, right? It might be like, oh boy, you were delusional with all of this whatever talk. You know what I mean? But both of these signs are spiritual. It's either they're going to be talking about philosophy, or they're going to be talking about spirituality, and maybe they might mesh them and come up with some old sci-fi talking about aliens or something, However, if both of them are delusional, forget about it, right? All I'm saying is if y'all can maintain each other with that particular placement, then influence each other to become what you want each other to become, because y'all can do it. Y'all are mutable, all right? We can do it. I'm a Pisces too. Why am I leaving myself out of this? All right, so I want to talk about this sun aspect between the sun and Uranus. We got to talk about this. It's a square until January 27th, which brings in obstacles. Again, squares bring obstacles. Obstacles are challenges, okay? Challenge. So with this, right, your vitality, source energy, you might want to have some leisure. You might want to have some fun. You might want to go out dancing or something like that with your significant other, your lover, right? Even if you're not in the sheets yet, if you're not in the sheets, right? When you're not in the sheets, maybe y'all just cuddling, whatever. You might want to do that. But the sun is inside of Capricorn. All right, we got to remember this. The sun is inside of Capricorn. Now, the sun doesn't like to be in Capricorn, right? The sun likes to do free will stuff. And Capricorn is about restraints, organization, do the work first, play later. You know what I mean? So I say that to say this. With Uranus unpredictability inside of Aries, which is probably going to rebel against any type of leadership that is too just free, expressing themselves so freely, right? It's going to rebel against that type of stuff. So just chill. All right? And I'm going to give you an example of this. Like maybe there's let me see. You might call tech service for like some internet trouble or something like that. And the people on the phone might pass you around to 2-3 different people, and no one is even smarter than you are. You know how to fix computers more than they do. They don't get it fixed. They might even go as far as putting somebody else on the phone sounds just exactly like the person that just got off the phone with you, and you like, yo, I just got finished speaking to you. And they're like, no, my name is, and you're like, yo, they're trying to pull a fast one on me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just hang up the phone. Wait till another day. If you can wait this out, wait it out. Or if you got that homeboy or homegirl that know how to fix it, call them. Do not get into it with this Uranus energy right now. Just don't. It's going direct. You'll be okay. Now, if you get any sudden flashes or glimpses into why this disruption may be occurring, that will give you the confirmation of why to let your ego stay out of this. Remain egoless with this whole Sun square Uranus inside of Aries. Sun in Capricorn squaring Uranus in Aries. Let it go. Leave it alone. All right. Now, let's talk about the houses that it's in for these two signs as well. And even more of a reason why I say this, right? Capricorn is the 11th house for Pisces, and it's the 2nd house for Sagittarius. And Aries is the 5th house for Sagittarius and the 2nd house for Pisces. So here we're talking about both of their, Uranus is in Pisces money sign, and the sun is in Sagittarius money sign. Okay, so there's money involved here. This is another reason why I'm saying, right? If there's something that you dislike, if it doesn't interfere with your money, leave it alone. Like, it may interfere with your personal values, and I understand that. You know what I mean? However, leave it alone. Look for the glimpse. Uranus is going to give you a glimpse of why this is occurring, why this is happening this way. Why is it not going your way as you probably predicted to be? Look for the glimpse. Look for the epiphany. When you find it, thank me later. Just get in the comment box and thank me later. But let's get back to the whole Capricorn, sign of Capricorn being the 11th house for Pisces and the 2nd house for Sagittarius, right? Because, mind you, I just said Pisces 10th house in a career. If it can align that with Sagittarius being an individual, being a part of Pisces career, it can be compatible, right? So here we are with a lot going on. We got how many planets inside of Capricorn right now? 1, 2, 3 planets inside of Capricorn right now. So, yeah. 11th house for Pisces, that's groups and networks, factions, institutions that bring some type of corporate revenues. If you're getting down like that, or if you work for a nonprofit organization, at least some type of things coming into fruition. Teamwork make the dream work. That's what's going on for Pisces. And now you got Sagittarius with, and it's the 2nd house for Sagittarius. So this is personal values, right? Money. Not only money, the money that their money. All right. So here we have 2 money houses in the same sign for these 2 signs. Now, if they're not together in the same type of industry or career, let me tell you how this can go. This can go like Sagittarius says, I got my own money, I spend my own money how I want to. You know how they can get down. I spend my own money, I got my own money, I do what I want to do. And then Pisces is sitting over here with corporate money. You know what I mean? And it's in the sign of Capricorn. So it's going to be about who has the most restraint here. See, somebody got in a comment box not too long ago and said, well, and this is on the old compatibility with these 2 signs. And they're like, well, how is Sagittarius going to be right? And how is Pisces going to be right? Great question. And this is kind of like a showdown. And I don't even want it to sound like that. However, it kind of is. It's going to be a showdown between, is more really better? or how much can you do with less? It's going to be that type of showdown, because Jupiter is involved, and Jupiter's in Sagittarius right now. Both signs got their ruling planets inside of their signs right now. This is interesting though. This is fun. You know what I mean? It does not have to be a battle into the sense that it's going to be warlike. It doesn't have to be that way. Now in the essence and the totality of it, possibly. However, with compatibility, pairing these two up and you're aligning these two, this can be great. It's going to depend on perception. And one of them may be right, the other one may be right. There may even be someone wrong here. That may even occur. But it depends on you. I'll let y'all handle that at home. So back to this whole 11th second house thing, right? These are both money houses. This is a strong place for both these two to come to terms with what's going on and how they're going to move and stuff like that. So, again, Pisces should be looking to spend corporate money. Now, if these two are together, right, it would be ideal for the Pisces to tell his Sagittarius woman or her Sagittarius woman, her Sagittarius man, like, listen, right, hold on to your money because you're reckless. You know what I'm saying? You want to do what you want to do all of the time, which can be reckless. You know, Pisces can be irresponsible at the same extent that Sagittarius can be reckless. Now, when it comes to these planets being in both of their money houses, different types of money houses, y'all got to hold each other down right now. All right? Because this is the sign of work. Show me what you got. Show me what you're made of. But with work and work ethic, with some rules, some type of restraint, some type of discipline here, some type of organization. So Pisces is going to be like, listen, can you like hold on to your wallet right now? Now, if they're not in the same industry, if they're not in a career together, Sagittarius is going to be like, how? What you talking about? Like, you know, what if the industries are different? What if the lifestyles are different? It's like, you work all day. You work in this big corporate company. You expect me to like, what do you want me to do? Are you going to give me money? You know what I mean? And Pisces might not want to do that because, as I said, it might be tied up in corporate things, right? And he might not want to give up what he could give because he knows how the Sagittarius can get down. It may be gone before he can even think about it. Before he can blink, it may be gone, right? And then they may need more, right? So it depends on your type of relationship. But if you're in a corporate situation, the both of you, they'll understand. The Sagittarius will understand, well, okay, like, look, if you break it down, like, look, whatever you need, can we make it a corporate expense? Because if you can do that, I got you. Like, it's going to be handled. You know what I mean? But if you want to verge off and go into your own personal account, you're on your own. You know what I mean? It can happen like that. So this is what I'm saying. You got to pay attention. You know what I mean? But if you look at it like this, if both of you look at it like this, from a corporate aspect, you'll understand. Like, oh, okay, it does make sense. You're in Capricorn's house. You know, you got to play by the rules sometimes. Like, you could rebel and do what y'all want. Y'all like doing what y'all want. I'm telling you though, do the responsible thing while y'all are here. Right? And I'm going to give you more clarity on why that should even be. Because, for one thing, Saturn is, square Mars right now. Okay? Yeah, let's get here right now, because Saturn is also sextile Neptune. But that's going to be for a long time. I didn't even count how long that's going to be. So I'm going to leave that out of it right now. And I'm going to get to the shorter extent to what that can possibly blossom and bloom into based on how this stint goes between Saturn and Mars. For how long does that last? Till February 7th. All right. So is it February 7th? No, pardon me. My bad. That's January 27th. January 27th, the square between Saturn and Mars will be over. So this will be like your test run. Because Saturn is going to square Mars and it's going to put you in the obstacle or the challenge here is to see something that you have to plow through. So I will tell you not to worry. Just work your way through it, and that's the solution to this aspect. Okay, so if there's something that you know is coming up, make a note of that and just do the work. Let your subconscious make the you know, the acknowledgement of what's coming, and then leave it there and say, okay, it's done already. It's going to get done. It's done. Matter of fact, say it's done already, and then go to work. Whether you're working on that particular, try to take your mind off of it. Just put yourself to work. Trust me, and watch how things fall into place for you. This is the time to stand up and use your ambition and channel it to plow through whatever work needs to be done right now between that aspect. Okay? Now, what happens there is, this is how you'll know, Sagittarius, if you can handle Pisces working for a long time, because there's a sextile between Saturn and Neptune. It's for both of y'all. But again, remember, for Pisces, it's in the 11th house, Saturn. So that's networks and groups and stuff. Again, if you're in that group, you already know the deal. If you're not in that group, still, you got to learn, can you deal with not being in that group? Because this can extend for a long time. I told you, I didn't even count to see how long it was. This could be for a long time. Now, if Pisces decides to say, oh, you know what, my group is my babe. You know what I mean? We riding this out. Like, I don't, let me stop working so hard. Then, hey, you're going to pass up on your opportunity, Pisces. And, it may be something to fathom. It may be something to question, because you could say, with this test run, with Mars, between Mars and Saturn until January 27th, you can say, look, if all of this working hard, work ethic stuff doesn't pan out to bring me some fruits of the labor, and if it's not worth it, then I might as well get back to the free spirited style of somewhat similar to the Sagittarius, but also in a spiritual sense. Like, you know what, I might as well just be charitable and go like do some volunteer work or something, because this is not even paying off. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying these are the possibilities that, depending on how you perceive things to be. But this is your trial run, because you're going to put the action of where your desires is, where you want to direct and harness your energy, your work. Where do you want it to go? So this is your chance to channel fully into that. You'll get the answer. You'll obtain the answer. Am I going for the long haul then? Will I be doing this for the long haul? Pisces, that's what you're going to be asking yourself. And you're going to be like, yeah. Now your Sagittarius is going to be like, well, okay, you're going for it. How's my home life going to be? Because it's the 4th house. Neptune's in the 4th house of Pisces for, that whole domestic ordeal. So, the home may even be Piscean, comfortable and, type of incense blowing, or, whatever you got going, essential oils, whatever's going on in this Pisces imaginative mind, paintings of nude chicks, whatever's going on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Sag is going to be like, oh, you got this. So considering that you've got this, and it's a great industry that you're in, it's a great business that you're in, this can work. Like, this will work. Is basically what I'm saying. Now, imagine if you two are together in this. Like, imagine how much fun that is. Imagine, oh man, are you kidding me? Imagine it's one of those types of jobs where you can travel and stuff too. Like, and have homes, different places, right? Because you gotta remember, again, these are mutable signs. And there's a lot of planetary action in a cardinal sign. So if you choose to embark on a leadership position, the both of you at that, then, but the key here is Pisces, you're going to know if the Sagittarius is personally attached to the things that you like doing, because there's 3 planets inside of their 2nd house. So you're going to see it. It's going to be visible. You're going to know. You know what I mean? So you're going to understand their style. If you don't want them being reckless, you're going to see in this period, while these planets are inside of Capricorn, can they do it? It's a time for everything. This is just not the time to be reckless, Sagittarius, and this is not the time to be irresponsible, Pisces. So, again, once you see the fruition of what happens between Saturn and Mars, what do I want to talk about next? I think we should talk about what's going on with Jupiter. Well, yeah, because I already told you about the sextile between Saturn and Neptune, right? So even more, if you're like in an industry that deals with the glamour and maybe even a hospital, like maybe it's like a health clinic or some type of health resort or spa or something like that, right? Because Pisces deals with that too, the healing or whatever the case may be. Then that would be dope. And fourth house rules over the corporate place as well. You know what I'm saying? So even if it's not the actual physical home that you two are domesticated in, because y'all might be bouncing all over the place, you know what I mean? But the corporate building or buildings, speak huge right now, speak it into existence, right? May be allocated to this placement as well. You understand what I'm talking about? So yeah, let's now talk about Jupiter aspecting Neptune first, and then I'd say the trine. No, all right. Yeah, let's talk about Neptune squaring Jupiter. This is where the showdown takes place. Again, these two signs ruling planets inside of their houses, right? So why would this be a showdown? Why is there a challenge here? Both of these two got to be right. Both of these two got to be right. Now, with Jupiter inside of Sagittarius, you may think or already have said, this is showtime for Sagittarius, right? It's inside of their first house. They're going to be going off. They're taking off. What you have to understand here is that just because Jupiter, is a beneficial planet, it's abundance and greatness and all of the above, right? Too much of anything can hurt you. Okay? And Pisces, with Neptune being inside of their first house, they're going to be looking at this. Pisces is going to be asking this question. Is the whole lofty, grandiose approach that Sagittarius has, is it worth it? Are you happy? Are you healthy? Is it worth it? Sagittarius is going to be pondering the same thing about Pisces. If you're that Pisces that isolates and you're a loner and less is more to you in some type of sense, or in certain areas that just the Sagittarius does not see that being the case, it's going to be on right now. It's going to be on right now. And Neptune is going direct, right? We're in the Aquarius age, though. So all of that veil stuff. Now, Pisces can manage through the whole veil of Neptune anyway, because it's their ruling planet. And whether they decide to indulge in the things, the escapism, right, that may deter them and confuse them and bring fog on them. But if your Pisces has mental clarity, this is a sharp Pisces you're talking about. Mental clarity. I'm not saying that if you do a little something, you get a little buzz that you still can't have clarity. I'm saying, is this Pisces sharp? You're going to know if this Pisces is sharp or not. So with their ruling planet inside of this sign, they're going to now remind you, this is still the sign of glamour. Glitz and glamour. You're talking about the possibility of grandiose stuff that deals with Jupiter, right? At the same time, if it drains Pisces to the point where it's not worth it, they're going to be pondering on the Sagittarius. Is it worth it? The Sagittarius has a tendency to behave recklessly because they have, especially when they have, should I say. So Pisces is going to be like, is it worth it? Sagittarius is going to be like, is it worth it? You sitting in front of a shrine meditating, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of stuff that can happen. I want to go to the club. Like, why don't you think this is liberating and being free? I think this is free. You know what I mean? And it's a valid argument. It's a valid debate. So, can one person be wrong? And this is why I said, one person might be wrong in this. One of you might be wrong in this. And I think, if you ask me, I think it's going to boil down to the labor put in from Saturn and Mars. Because Pisces is going to find out from Saturn and Mars which path to take. Because remember, these signs are mutable. So they're probably doing 3, 4, maybe 5 different things. Just trying it out. Throwing stuff at the wall, see what sticks, right? So Pisces is going to find out, is what he's doing as himself, Neptune in the first house, is it allocating to his corporate networks and groups and factions well? Is it resonating well? And if he gets the okay, if he gets that confirmation, or she gets that confirmation come January, that's when it ends, right? Yeah, come January 27th, then Pisces is going to keep going for that opportunity that's going to be lasting a long time between Saturn and Neptune, and that's going to entail of work. So Pisces, if you thought you was working before, whew, guess what? You may have had doubts and all types of stuff, Pisces, before, but now you're going to know. Sagittarius, same thing, because the aspect applies to you too. So whatever you're doing from now till March 27th, throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks, you're going to have your answer come soon. And when you get your answer, you're going to have to assess, are you sticking with it or not? Are you sticking with it or not? And your attitudes may change. They may mesh. But it's going to depend on, I'm telling you, is this worth it? Now, it could be materialistic. It could be, now, both of these signs can be spiritual. They are spiritual, as a matter of fact. You know what I mean? Now, but again, this is another thing that's going to take place. Harsh, which you Sagittarius people may call blunt. Harsh and crude. Pisces is very sensitive to the energies around them right now. They are very, I'd say sharp. Like, it's very sensitive to perceive the energies around them right now. So the high road, should I say, that Pisces is going to perceive right now is, listen, I've been trying to tell y'all this for the longest. There's good in everyone. I see it. Y'all want me to take the glasses off all of the time, right? But this is the greatest time to be alive now. We got everything at our fingertips. And if you're still not happy to the point where you're still vulgar, you're still cursing people out, you're still beating people up, you're still spitting on people, you're still throwing drinks at people through the drive-thru, you're still... Pisces is done with you. Had it with you. Right? Now, Sagittarius may feel the same. And if they do, Sagittarius is going to have more of a challenge of not expressing that. Of not saying, you know what, you should be quiet, or you should, and you should, like, pretty much expressing how they feel about the situation. Because they want to tell people the truth. I'd suggest to just leave it alone. Because Pisces is going to be doing a lot of leaving it alone. You may notice right now that Pisces, for the most part, are being silent, except for when they like being like this, using philosophy. Because Jupiter is inside of Sag. At the same time, the excess of it, like, I wanted to do so many videos and I stopped. Because the excess of it, again, is the work going to be worth it? Now, somewhere down the line, possibly, Saturn does not reward immediately. Jupiter, on the other hand, says, look, we got the reins. Can we do it? Press record. You got something to say? Do it now. Say it now. Right? But then you got Mercury aspecting Mars, which can cause... I probably didn't even mention that yet. If I did, I didn't. Pardon me. But Mercury is also aspecting Mars in a square. So you can say something reckless right now. You can do something impulsive right now. You can request something from someone right now, and it'll come out totally just totally abrupt. Like, you couldn't use no swag with that. Like, you couldn't use no tact. You couldn't use... And Sagittarius and tact just do not go hand in hand. Right? So now I'm pointing out some cons, but this is how y'all can balance each other out. This is how y'all can grab each other's coattails and say, listen, yo... Especially Pisces, grab the Sagittarius coattails and be like, yo, just chill. You know what I mean? Leave that alone. It's about us right now. Like, let us build right now. Like, all of that abundance that's going on in the world, let people be to their own devices. Because it's really going to be like, this time is going to be about how well can you stomach people doing their own thing without hating them, without despising them, without wanting to hurt them in some type of way. Greatest time to be alive, despite what the aura is, despite what the environment looks like, what you may be exposed to when you look and you peer out through the veil. Despite that, if you internalize, it's going to be a lot about internalizing with Jupiter being inside of Sagittarius, and you're going to see it magnify outward what abundance truly is. And then abundance is going to be according to the personal preference, right? Neptune now is Instagram, is Facebook, is YouTube. That's the Neptunian lens now. That's the veil. So it's going to be a lot of, are they really living that life? Or is it just for marketing and advertisement? And if it is, so what? So what? Let it go. Let it go. Sagittarius is capable of this. I kid you not, they are. Because they do like to get away sometimes too and just be like, you know what, I'm done with the whole thing. They both mutable signs. They be like, come on, let's get out of here. Like we're not even gonna pay attention to that. But you gotta do that. Like you can't. Remember the aspect that I'm talking about between the sun and Uranus. Like if you, again, Uranus deals with electricity, rules over electricity, and rules over the internet. So if you see something, and you be like, yo, I know that person. Like they don't have a Lamborghini. Like they're lying. Like that's not theirs. Leave it alone. You don't gotta thumbs down it. You don't gotta comment on it. You don't gotta make a fake profile just to say something reckless to them. Leave it alone. Let it go. Because that may work for them. You understand what I'm talking about? Sometimes I seen a video not too long ago, and a person was like, the only reason why I did this advertisement this way in front of on the beach, in the beach house and everything, is to get your attention. Because you wouldn't have looked had I been in the basement somewhere and without a 1080 at least p camera. You would have paid me no mind. Which in some aspects is true. So this is what I'm saying. That whole question about is more better? Or is it like this is the time for the minimalists? Is the rise of the minimalists, does it make sense? Are people happier when they're lighter? When they don't carry as much? Again, it's going to come down to personal preference. It's going to actually come down to as well as health. So this is how you're going to know, right? If you can look at a person and identify that everything they have, everything that they're going through, despite how much they're loved or appear to be loved, you're going to be able to identify through your own personal lens if it's really good for that person or not. I'm telling you, Jupiter, the magnifying lens is on the truth right now for these two signs. You both are truthers. So you're going to know it. Now, being teamed up together is awesome. It's awesome. All you really got to concentrate on is how well is your well-being. Separate with personal preference and together. So let me see if I looked at all of the aspects. Saturn is squaring Mars until February 5th. Excuse me, I said till January 27th. Saturn is squaring Mars until February 5th. Okay? The Sun is squaring Uranus until January 27th. So that's a correction. That's a correction right there. Mercury, again, Mercury is squaring. I want to make sure y'all get all of this. Mercury is squaring Mars until February 7th. So it's like, just fall back on the reckless talk. It's pretty much what I'm saying. And y'all got this. This is first quarter stuff, right? Let it go. Whatever you see, if it's not your truth, let it go. And speak to each other and just find out if what you're doing, your devices, whatever it is that makes you feel good, whatever you do for leisure, is it good for you? Because again, with the Sun where it's at in its current position, the only planet it's aspecting right now is Uranus. You know what I mean? So things along the lines of technology and stuff that you may be ready to go full-fledged ahead with, be cautious with that. You know what I mean? Use Uranus psychic energy to determine when's the best time to express yourself freely. And this can be on the internet as well. Remember what I said about excess of Jupiter, right? Are you posting too many pictures? Did they get the point yet? Or you got something else that you want to... Now, right now, you probably are posting a lot of pictures and stuff like that, marketing and promoting yourself. And I'm not telling you not to do that. Like, this is the time of independence right now. It's Aquarius age, I'm telling you. So I'm not telling you to put a lid on that. However, after the Mercury sextile is gone from Neptune, Mercury sextile is finished, you could calm it down a bit. Because I'm pretty sure you're going to be persuaded, the people that needed to be persuaded to do the things that you need them to do. Y'all need each other to do. Y'all need each other. Stop fronting. You know what I mean? It'll be done by tomorrow night. Tonight, by the time you'll be seeing this. Y'all should have accomplished that by now. Alright? I'm telling you. So look, if there's anything I left out of this, or you think that you need more clarity, should I say, or closure on, let me know. Get inside of the comment box, and I'll take care of it from there. Alright? And that's pretty much it, y'all. And I'll see y'all next quarter with this update. This is hot. I hope y'all got what y'all needed. You know what I mean? And great luck.